As you can see, this is the entire uh, cast and crew and the two most important ladies who have actually produced this film. The film is called Kalki, as you all know. But I just thought, we rarely get an opportunity where, artists and producers can sit together and have a chat. So I thought maybe we'll just sit and talk. So, of course, my first thing, of course, is to Sapnaji and to Priyankaji. How did you feel when Nagi said, this is my, was it Nagi's idea, or was it your idea, or what?
With Nagi around, I don't think we have a scope of any ideas, sir. It's always same. So, I mean, we've been obviously working together for a few years now, and every time a film gets over, it's about what are we doing next. And he just tells us a line. And then right after Manati, he took some time, after a year, he said, I have something. And then he just told the idea of it, which blew our minds. At that point of time, we really didn't understand the depth of it, what it needs to make this sort of a film. Only when we were going into it, we would understand, oh, this is his vision. In fact, we were all very excited to start off with, but then when we actually started, we were like, are we going to even help him enough? Are we like enough for him to make this film? Yeah. So that was one of our concerns. And then we really needed these big shoulders, like all of you, to come and carry a film of this stature.
Yeah. The thing that I really want to know is that when you see the scale of this film, as we've all seen and been involved in, I mean, what does a producer go through when they see all this huge scale and the kind of dream and the vision that he has? It's impossible to imagine that.
I think in the beginning, it took us time, sir. Like, for example, I mean, he told us a story, and I remember it was in the morning around 10 o'clock or 11, and it took us 2 days to get out of it. And then when we started, I think one day I called Swapna, and we were in it like 5 months into it, pre-production, and we were designing stuff and like trying. I called her and I was like, we're in it, and I'm not able to sleep because I don't know if we will be able to make it, because you have to make every single thing in this film, like pen to paper to every single thing. And their deadlines, they're big actors. And so we had like a lot of sleepless nights. And then we got into it. Once we're in it, we're like, we're in it.
It's like we didn't have time to think or breathe more after that. It's a cycle.
I'm actually most curious about Priyanka because there's so many conflicts for her as like a wife, as a sister, as a producer, and as the the lead on production. So there's so many different hats that you're wearing. So where do the lines?
Actually, for this film, I think for Mahanati we had lines because it's like a 1-year project. But this is 4 years. I think there are no lines. It's just like get go, like come on, war. It's. Yeah. But it gets difficult, but also it gets very easy because when you're a family, so you're always talking about the project, you're always talking about what is next, what's the next schedule. So it definitely gets easy. But
flip side,
it has.
That's only
what I feel, Kamal, is really admirable is that we have two ladies, ladies looking after this massive production, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, some of the visuals you've already seen in the trailers, but to have two women actually in charge. Correct. And to see it executed, and today we sit here to talk about the film and the kind of production that it has come out, the kind of visuals we've seen has never been seen before. I mean, it's just quite
I was just talking about Sholay.
Yeah.
It's like that, like nobody has seen horses fall like that.
Exactly.
Nobody has seen machine guns going off like that. And nobody has seen a villain talk like that or a hero behave like that. Everything was new about it. I think that's the same effect. And I know where you're getting the confidence from. Your father told me the story about how he became a producer. He just went and stood in front of NTR's house for so many days that he noticed this face and he said, why is this young man? He seems educated. And he called him in, and that's how the connection started, and he became a producer for NTR. And the name Vaijayanti film was given by Mr. NTR. So that's
what a wonderful story. We never knew all this.
No, that tenacity of purpose.
So also on this note, if we being, two women able to pull off something like this, it is entirely. I mean, of course, Nagi's, his vision, his absolute hard work, but also actors like you all who are extremely understanding and, you know, who understand the beauty of cinema and willing to give whatever it takes for cinema, and someone like Prabhas, who's not even questioning if it's just these two girls can pull it off or no, like, you know. So so it's thanks to you all for
It's not thanks to
making
me. I
this
think
happen.
when Nagi came to talk to me about this, he just brought a picture, a visual
concept.
of you know what my character is going to look like and what Prabhas is going to look like. And I was this huge guy who's shoving off the Prabhas. And all the fans of Prabhas, please, you know, please excuse me, I'm haath jod ke maafi maang rahe hain. You know, don't massacre me after
They
you
were
see
your
what I do
fans
to him in the
first,
film.
They're all your fans
Yeah,
first.
that was what was so impressive. I said, he's already got a vision in mind. He's got a picture of what he's going to look like. Very rarely do you see.
But
all
see, I've seen photo shoots or what do you call
Storyboard.
storyboard.
Yeah, it's
So,
never there on my
but
time.
I always suspect that because that's an ambition. What happens really? But when I ask that question, all that is fine. It's on paper. But how are you going to bring it?
Bring it
I said we
actually.
have, and they showed me your footage. So I kept quiet. I just became part of the project because usually people come with big diagrams and the films don't even get made. So my question was that. Then I straight away went into what am I going to look like?
Yeah,
So I told you the story.
yeah we
about-
just heard that story.
I came up with the third eye and he said, it's done.
It was the first trial for me. I don't know how the trial went for you. The makeup trial and the prosthetics and everything. And I was saying, oh God, another prosthetic film
I
because I'd
remember,
already done two before this, and they're very painful.
Yeah.
But you know, the 3 hours that it used to take to put on the prosthetic, and then another hour and a half, 2 hours to take it off, it was all worth it. And now when we talk to, you know, people outside who don't know that, all of us that use prosthetics, it takes about 3 hours to put it on. And you have to
more
just
And
be,
then taking it off.
yeah, not move, don't do anything, cooperate with the makeup artist. It's
it's
not a torture really, but you know, a lot of people think it must be torturous.
It is a
requires a
torture,
lot
sir.
of
You know, we know.
Once you know that what the final result is going
I
to
mean,
be.
it is a torture if the movie is not good enough.
Yeah, I agree.
But the movie is good enough,
It's all worth
it's
it.
not because you're already imagining the applause.
No, what I was saying, Kamal, was that the day I put on my makeup for the first day and went onto the set, I knew that this was worth it. You know, the moment you sit on a scene, you see the set, you see what's happening, it's just, I knew it was all worth it.
I think I remember we were doing puja and you finished your makeup and we were doing, I think we were just doing something and you just walked in like that.
Yeah.
With the whole thing you were there and we were like,
Pin drop, silent, stunned.
It's like
just
stunned, yeah.
too good, sir.
But that's all credit to, you know, the people who dress you up and make you up.
No,
There's
everything,
no
I mean.
credit to the
And imagine
artists who do
all that has happened before. You walking into the set and now I have to come in. Oh, boy, what am I going to do?
No, but
But I got a call when you walked on to set. I remember Nagi calling me and just that first day of shoot with you, and Nagi called me and said, I just had to call and tell you that we shot our first day with Kamal sir. And I was
Kamal
like,
sir.
I
He
missed
never
it.
told
but
me.
He called me. I was in
happy to hear
Bombay, and it was a long break because I mean, obviously we were shooting in different schedules, and I hadn't heard from him in a while. And I see this missed call from Nagi. I was like, what has happened? I just called to tell you we shot our first day with Kamal sir, like a child.
That's what made this film.
yeah.
That
child.
child.
Child, yeah.
We hope this child will also make it one day.
So you were
Prabhas,
like,
you know, you've always been very quiet and simple and don't give many reactions on set, but
that's the,
you know, but somebody of your stature who is now presently, I've always wondered how you feel or how you felt when Nagi came and said this to you.
When Nagi said first time.
Because when I first met him,
couldn't-
and we met on set and all that, we went through this whole procedure of who's going to touch whose feet. So he came and said, so I'm just touching your feet. So then I said, okay, let's stop it here. You know, this whole business. And then in a very quiet, private moment, he said, sir, be prepared to break a few bones and this and that. I've been, this guy has made me break bones here, there, and I've been jumping here and there in Bahubali and so on and so forth. So I was wondering, how is it going to happen? But you know, that's the detailing that I was talking about, you know, your father. He's so simple, so down to earth. You can't believe he's there on set every day.
He's the first person.
And he's actually monitoring what the artist is being asked to do. Hey, don't put this, don't make him do this because that's tough for him. But the way Nagi programmed everything, you know, he said, sir, don't worry, we'll just use close-ups and we've got, you know, dupes and we've got harnesses.
And
this
it is not about the number of cameras or number of crew.
Exactly, yeah.
It's the quietness of the set which I enjoyed most. I must.
I remember the message.
Because that's lacking in most sets.
Yeah.
The noise should be inside and in the theaters, not in the set. So everybody is talking in discipline, which I found that Mr. Nagi could speak in his volume and still be heard.
Yeah.
He mumbles, but he's still heard in the set because that's how quiet the set is.
I ask these questions, you know, because in my time we never had all these facilities. So if we had to jump from the second floor, we actually jumped. There were no harnesses, you break your ankle, you break your leg and everything. So it was a wonder for me how they were going to be able to do it. But you know, I just marvel at the technology now. You know, Kamal, you must have been through a lot of all this earlier on.
I think we have invested by breaking so many bones now.
We never had these facilities, you know, Prabhas.
Yes, sir.
Never
I
had
know.
them. And to be able to now be part of it.
Yes.
And to have, you know, little cameras like this who are recording everything on digital.
Yeah.
For us, as you may be knowing that, you know, celluloid film was the most expensive item in the budget of a film.
Yeah.
Because it was not available. It used to get imported from Kodak. And to save celluloid film, you had to be sure that your first take was okay.
Yeah, that's a reputation.
You
that
can't make a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Rishida used to say, Rishida, just one take. No, first take, okay. He's saving celluloid, but he's also satisfied with it. And if you insist it is there, take it, you pay for it. You know, it's like that. We never had an opportunity to see, you know, what they call monitors,
Yeah.
No
And we were
cameras,
not allowed to go near the camera also. You have to pay a fine if we
Oh, yeah, they'll all applaud.
If you got a
Charge
chance
money.
to look through the
Nothing, never allowed. Not even allowed to go to the editing room. I mean, it was impossible. You saw yourself for the first time on the day of the release of the film. So all this has been a huge experience and a learning for all of us, which is why, you know, and Prabhas, I'm very sorry, all his fans.
The first time when we had a fight, you caught me here, and I thought like
in the movie.
in the movie. So I thought like Amitabh sir, I need to be careful and all. He caught me so hard, and this man is not whatever he's saying. He's some 25, 26. And I told him, he's so strong.
No, but a lot of things we did, you know, we never ever expected we could manage this. And that is what is so intriguing with you.
I think also the sets, I think for the audience to know that we eventually, if I may say,
Built a city.
built
Cities,
land
worlds,
and
yeah.
built a city. And I think the fact that Nagi today has a vision where once the movie releases, I think fans of the movie can actually go and
And the
visit
vision
the
is
set.
unique
Yeah.
because the way they places the camera
Correct.
is not like we are used to.
Yeah.
He comes quite close to look at you.
Too soft.
And that's what you enjoy because
Yeah.
how do you act for camera is here?
Yeah.
So how do
In
you
our time, it used to be a challenge, Kamal. You know,
Yeah.
and I still remember that one of the challenges for an artist used to be to give a close-up with a 75mm lens on a Mitchell camera, which was huge. And this huge monster used to come and stand here with a lens. And you have to do a close up.
And it's a rack shift camera.
Yeah.
You can
So
hear
even
it.
the cameraman is not actually looking at the image, but is looking at parallax
Was
error.
Parallax, yes.
I didn't have monitors.
No
Nothing,
man, no monitor.
Nothing.
Oh.
And
So we're
the,
not used to, not seeing the director standing next to us on the set. We're always used to see where the camera is, the director, then he's guiding us.
Yeah.
We're not used to that. You just hear a voice somewhere, 2 miles away,
My.
maybe shouting or whatever it is. But really, Deepika, you've done so many films, and I will say that you're a modern age artist. So
no, not only that, in the West. it has been
exactly,
there.
yeah. So
So I think
How do you
nothing
Biggest
else
international
surprised
ads
me
ever
like it does.
anyone ever did. Louis
but it must
Vuitton.
have been
Keep quiet.
it must have been a hell of an experience for you.
No, I think what I was processing as I heard the two of you speak is in terms of where we were, filmmaking and technology,
Yeah.
to now for all of us to be a part of a movie where I think every kind of technology that is available in the world today is probably at our disposal through this movie. And the fact that we have a director who's used it so intelligently, and also to find that balance, because also with AI and things like that, I think you can also lose the soul of performances, but I think to be able to find that balance between technology that's available to you but to also keep the performances real, I think is what makes this movie and this experience very special.
Yeah. Some of the visuals of the sets, we were either against a green screen or just close up, we never know. But quite honestly, for the first time, I've seen
The visuals.
the surroundings,
Correct.
and it's just unbelievable.